Let's talk about 10 camera accessories, 10 things that I use that you might like to use as well. So these are 10 things that are inside my camera bag. Some of them are extremely useful and you might not have ever heard of them before. So if that's the case and you're like, oh, I actually quite want that, pop the link down below and you can click it if you want it. First up, the small rig tool. This just came out recently. This is a tool that every photographer, every person that does video should have. So many pieces of camera equipment have screws on the bottom, Allen keys on the bottom, different size Allen keys, other different size Allen keys, and it's really frustrating. This solves that. It has everything you could possibly need, all the different sizes in one little tool that is extremely well made. It's made of metal too. It's solid. Also has threaded holes there, so if you want to store additional spares in, threaded mounts, all things like that, you can. Extremely useful, very, very well made. Has Allen keys on it, I think some hex bolts, and a flat-headed screwdriver and a Phillips headed screwdriver as well. Extremely useful. The Manfrotto Pixie, version 1, not the second one. Don't like the second one. The second one has extendable legs and I just don't like the design. I tried it and I much prefer the version 1. So this is a mini tripod that I have a base plate on here, an Arca style plate. I use this for vlogging now instead of the Gorilla Pod there. This moves around after you've had it a while. These bendy legs become too bendy and it's annoying. Much prefer this. And the nice thing about this as well is it has this little button on the side here. You can click and hold that button and move this around whatever you want. Very quick, very easy, very stable, and I really like this. Also, this is really cheap. This is like $25, $30. The Peak Design Tech Pouch. You may not have heard of this before. This came out recently, actually. Really high quality pouch. Think of this as like your toiletries bag for all your camera bits and bobs, cables, that kind of stuff. Lots of little grips on here. You can attach a strap to it if you want. It's a water resistant pouch. Has a water resistant zip on there too. And it actually is quite small, but when you open it up, it extends. And you've got tons of stuff in here. I got a mic in here, a set of filters, filter pouch, chargers, charging cables, and everything is in there in its own compartment. These are all elasticated compartments. Everything is very tightly held in there. There's a zipper in the middle too. The Tech Pouch, very useful. You can hold a bunch of cables, a bunch of chargers, whatever you want to put in that. And once it's zipped up, it compresses down into a much smaller version of itself, and it's very useful. Throw it in your bag and you're good to go. This is another pouch. This is a cheaper one from Amazon. And again, it's for holding things, and I use this as my audio pouch for weddings and for events. Zip together, and then when you open up inside, I have every possible cable I could possibly need for connecting to DJ soundboards, plugging into lapel mics, XLR cables, 3.5mm cables, RCA cables, all the different kinds of audio adapters you could possibly need. Held in these little elasticated straps here, different chargers, and 2 different zip compartments as well. Extremely useful for carrying a bunch of different cables that you want to keep well organized and separate from everything else inside your camera bag. If you have these just thrown in your camera bag, they're gonna get all tangled, really frustrating. This keeps everything neatly together. It's a really cheap bag. I've had this for 3 years and it still looks brand new. Peak Design Capture Clip. It's on my Low Pro Tactic 450. It's on the arm strap there. If I put this on, once I have this on, you can see just here, it sits just there. Camera, plate on the bottom, clips in. That doesn't go anywhere. It cannot go anywhere. It cannot physically fall through. There is no way. The only way for it to come out is to push the red button on the side here and it pops out. Extremely useful for walking around, for hiking, and you want to keep your hands free and do whatever else you want with them. It doesn't go anywhere. It's secure and you can trust that. Believe me, you can trust me because I've trusted it hiking and everything like that, and it works really well. Peak Design Capture Clip. If you have a camera, you have memory cards. If you have memory cards, you end up buying more memory cards and you need a way to store those. Pelican memory card case. I've attached a cable tie with a little clip on here so you can clip it to whatever you want. Inside here, oh, and this is waterproof too. Not water resistant, waterproof. Pop it open, all your memory cards. Inside there, 12 slots total. And then underneath, on this side here, each one of these underneath is a micro SD card slot. So it stores 12 SD cards and then 6 micro SD card slots. Clips together, keeps them secure, keeps them safe, keeps them waterproof if you want to go swimming with it. Don't go swimming with it. But yeah, Very useful, and this was less than $20 as well. If you do any form of video, you're gonna wanna record audio. Sometimes you need to use a lapel mic, and you need one of these. This is a Zoom H1, a tried and trusted piece of audio equipment that I've used over 20 weddings and has never failed me, not once. The nice thing about this is it takes an AA battery, so if it runs out of battery, you can plug another one in and you're good to go. It has a line in, meaning that you can plug in from any audio source as long as it's a 3.5mm jack. It also has headphones out, so you can monitor live what your audio sounds like. It also has levels on it that show you how your levels are too. So if you're peaking, you can bring it down a little bit. You can control all that on this, so if the signal coming in is really hot, you can bring that down. And I love this thing. It's simple, you plug it in, you turn it on, and it will just record non-stop until the battery dies or the memory card fills up. You can trust this. Again, you can trust me because I trust this and I've used it a lot. Zoom H1. Sometimes you want to go out and you don't want to bring your bag, you don't want to bring your camera on a strap around your neck because no one uses those anymore, but you might want a wrist strap instead. Just give you a little bit of support there, meaning if you do drop your camera, it's attached to your wrist still. I've tried a few different ones and I always settle on the same one, and this is still my favorite. This is made by a company called Original Row. It's a guy in the States that hand makes a lot of these things, and this one, the nice thing about it is it has a Peak Design attachment. So, attaches to all my Peak Design stuff. Nice little leather bit on the top there. You can thread this through and there is your hand strap. And this is braided, it's made from paracord. This is really, really well made, really tough. And you can go online, you can pick whatever color you want. You can mix colors up. He has everything. This one is black camo because I love everything camo. Next one's a weird one, but it's super cheap. These things, little bendy cable tie kind of things. Thread it through. You can do that with it. You can wrap them around things. Great for tidying up your cables, great for keeping things together. Here's another really good example. Let's say you're using your Zoom H1 and you want to hang it from something, like a PA stand. You can thread this through. Perfect. That is a tip from Jason Vong. If you follow him, I saw that on his Instagram and it works incredibly well. Thanks, Jason. If you have a camera, it's gonna get dirty at some point. There's no way around it. Unless you're like touching the lens, getting up all close in it, licking it, something like that, getting it all greasy, then most of the time it's just gonna be dust on that. You need a blower. All it does is blow air around and gets dust off of your lens, gets dust off of your sensor. For the most part, any dust on your camera, this is gonna get rid of it. Buy one of these once, you'll never have to buy it ever again, unless you lose it. Finally, a mic. A really cheap mic, a mic I've had for quite a while. I actually have two of these and I'm recording on one right now. The audio from this thing is incredibly clean and it's incredibly cheap. So the mic I'm talking about is the Takstar SGC 598. This little guy here uses a battery, rechargeable, basically has one cable attached to it, a 3.5mm audio jack straight into your camera, or in my case here I've got it on a mic stand just here. There you go, just there. And then it runs down the mic stand, round up into the camera, and it works incredibly well. I do have the Rode Video Micro as well. This is my out and about mic, but for when I'm at home in the studio here, I'm using this one. So if you like this sound, then you might like this mic. Probably good for some ASMR. I don't know why people like ASMR. It's just really loud sounds that are weird. So there you go, 10 camera things, 10 things I use on a very regular basis that are incredibly useful and for the most part quite cheap. If I didn't tell you enough about one of those things or you want to know more, check out the links down below or put a question or a comment down below and I'll do my best to respond to you. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching today. If you're not part of this channel already and you want to sub down below because you want to watch more of these videos, if you like this kind of thing, if you like me, then yeah, subscribe. If not, then just go do something else. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.